spin. What? So I put clamps on. I'm change my probably got corrupted. The hedge. Off board. Let's go. I made that. 100%. Let's go. Hey. Spin go hard. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think he give you anything though. I said I don't think he give you anything though. Hate that fucking pausing. Tripled. Cool Grace. Change the jump shot. Yeah. Let's go. I got him. Off. I think he good, bro. Hey, nigga. Guard is so annoying, bro. His fucking big ass. How? He's just jumping. I got him. Pocket. Oh. I got him. Good hairs. I got him. Off. Mm. Damn. Stay on his side. Mm. Garden. Then turn around. Off. Let's go. Fuck. Come on, come on, come on. Stay. Alright. Nigga think he good, bro. What? Ain't no way. No, 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 no. Unless you get the... What the heck? Come on, come on. Stay, 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 stay. Give it a tomahawk. He wasn't even there. I got him, I got him, I got him. Yeah, nigga. It's good. Give me that. What the fuck? I'm right there. Give me that. Go. Oh shit. Hmm. Damn. I got him. Come on, come on. Good hedge. Got it. Good. And let's go. Okay. Good. I'm gonna go, bro. Shut up, bro. Damn, nigga. Talk too fucking much. Let's go, good block. Let's go, Jiggy. Let's get. Get a fucking concept. Stay. Let's go, Kashan. Damn. He did. Oh my god. can't get a contact. Man, let me look at my animations real quick, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Hello.
What's up, man? Damn.
It's 11:03, dumbass nigga. Okay. What's the issue? So then why do
Yeah,
you
why
care?
is it dead? That shit was not funny,
I ain't even looking at it. That's the first thing I see.
Alright. Oh, we can.
Hold up. I got a play shot, a 3-level score, and then that tell you.
Let me get him unlocked.
I mean, I can't.
Nah, you are. You are.
Nah, Kai, you should have seen it in pro. I
You
went like
going
zero.
here? Nah. Yeah, y'all went 10-1 for a reason.
Hop off, bro. Hop off. I went like 2 for 9.
This dude too much Bryson barely even.
Oh, no, bro.
Mixing it up after he did the quarterback sneak. Why did he do that? Do we see the replay here? Watch this. At the end of the, oh, he grabbed him by the hips there. Now, Brady does his pliability at 44 years old. He does his pliability work. But that's not what he had in mind right there. That's the goal. That's what Buffalo going to do. So the next play, okay, they get the first down after the quarterback sneak. The next play, Brady drops back to pass, and then Brady hits the turbo boost. Down the field.
Jeez.
First down, Tampa Bay.
Got you. Bro, chill out. I was saying something gay, bro.
June 11th, 1969,
Oh, bro.
Baria City, hometown province.
When I was outside today, bro,
a newbie tunnel ran arrived
that's
at the
what
base to a scene
Cortland
of
and
destruction.
what's
Just
it?
days
Cortland's
earlier,
parents
the
left,
team was
right?
hit by an
And they have
M69,
left biscuits on the
aka
stove.
jumping jack. It
I
got
went
that
in that
the way
joint.
it jumped in the air when
Like
stepped on.
they
It
left the
killed
house.
3 men and injured 24
No,
others.
like
Not
no,
long
they
after the hit
cooked the
hit,
biscuits
it
and
made
then
the
they
personnel
were
line.
sitting on
Personnel
top.
carrier
They
hit
was
that
ready.
line. It was the
But I
first
walked in
time
that
that the
joint as soon as they
unseasoned
left,
tunnel
bro.
rats saw a
I took
dead
at
body.
least 3.
It was chaos.
I walk outside.
Bruh.
Kristen talk
You had
about
to learn
something.
fast.
Why you
Remember
have so
one tunnel
many?
rat nicknamed
Like,
Yogi?
we need to save
Twice
some
phone
for my
lines.
family.
Bits were hanging off
Bruh.
once he told the team what he had to do next. This was not a
Walked
job for
straight
the
to him, ate it in his
someone
face,
had
bro.
to do it. That story is true. It happened to a
But if
combat
I'm being
engineer in
honest, he did say I could have.
He took on one of the hardest things about the job. Prior to the Americans going to war with the Viet Cong, the French fought the Viet Minh from 1946 to 1954. During that time, the Viet Minh learned a thing or two about fighting a superpower. To beat someone far more powerful than yourself, you had to resort to guerrilla tactics. One of those tactics was keeping below ground. And so the Viet Minh got to work building a massive complex of tunnels. When the Americans arrived in 1955, the tunnels were already vast, but it was the Viet Cong that really made them a feat of engineering. During the Vietnam War, or the American War to the Vietnamese, the Viet Cong used those tunnels for all kinds of things. While the opening to the tunnels was small, they might lead to a complex system of tunnels that would lead to large underground spaces. It was within these spaces that the Viet Cong would hide, eat, sleep, and machinate attacks on their enemy. The tunnel served as headquarters, hospitals, barracks, and storage facilities. Since they had ventilation systems, it was possible to stay down there for a prolonged period of time. So we're not so much talking about men burrowing like rabbits, but men living in a subterranean world. These worlds provided safety from the hostiles. Like snakes, the men would come out of there at night, lay traps for the enemy, and sneak back into the tunnel. And that's how so many American and Australian soldiers lost their lives, to mine-laying soldiers that were rarely seen above ground. It was actually an Australian combat engineering unit, the 3 Field Force, that were the first tunnel rats. The Americans later joined them, but we don't imagine guys were queuing up for the job.
Swear that game better
They
not
find the entrance, but have no idea where the tunnel.
If I shoot one air ball, bro, I'm sitting on the bench. Nah,
wait, I thought we was playing Prime. Oh.
Will lead or who they will encounter down there. That wasn't the only threat of humans to worry about, too. Vietnam is in the tropics, and the tropics are home to all kinds of dangerous creatures. Have you ever seen a Vietnamese giant centipede? Those fast-moving, prehistoric-looking creatures deliver one of the most painful insect bites known to man. And guess what? They too like to hide in tunnels. Then there were the snakes, the highly venomous and deadly banded krait, the malignant pit viper, the king cobra, and a whole host of other badass snakes.
I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it for world history.
The soldiers had to deal with ants nests, annoying bats, rats carrying the bubonic plague, as well as spiders that weren't generally a threat to life, but could make life painful. So you can imagine that going into was about as frightening as getting into Ted Bundy's Volkswagen Beetle.
Oh, but the game so you gotta take it.
If the men could do huge that the so they
and then all use hard pressure.
With a flooding feature if it should ever be infiltrated. Other times the tunnel might just collapse, which wasn't a design feature but a case of poor construction. You'd have to be crazy to do this job. You also had to be short. Imagine a hull job were usually not taller than 165 centimeters. It was the same years later when the U.S. Marine Corps and British Royal Marines fought in the Afghanistan War. Yeah, tunnel rats weren't only a thing in Vietnam. But let's stay with Vietnam for now and go back to the Australian soldier. He was trained at the Australian Army School. He learned how to get through tunnels. When he arrived in Vietnam, he walked into chaos. As we said, one of the first things he saw was the aftermath of a soldier stepping on a jumping jack mine. 3 bodies were outfitted with body bags, and after that, 24 men were wounded. He said those M16 mines were everywhere, and it was part of his job to find them. What the Viet Cong did was store them in the tunnels and then lay them at night. So each day was a new day, and there was always a possibility of new mines lying around. That's why the tunnel rat had such an important job.
You got 2 seconds, bro.
And blow up the tunnel, and then no more mines. When he started the job, he worked as a tunnel rat number 2. He worked in a pair with tunnel rat number 1, and when 6 months was up, he became number 1, and he was joined by a newbie. He hadn't been a number 2 for long when he heard that a number 1 tunnel rat named Yogi had stood on a mine. Yogi was alive, but as you can imagine, he wasn't looking too well. In fact, only 3 Australians that stood on mines made it back home with their legs and lives intact.
I haven't got sleep in 3 days, bro.
The fatality rate
starting to kick.
33%. That's one reason.
Save Cash. He's in our one of the group chats, Kashan.
The Americans wanted to destroy the
Save Cash.
from the inside, but from the outside.
He sounds so familiar. He in one of our group chats.
They would cave in, and anyone inside.
Oh, I'm tripping. I'm thinking I'm on guard. Here, man.
Gases into them, the Viet Cong would die. You could also try and flood the area where the tunnels were, and by doing that, to drown the enemy. The problem was that these efforts didn't always result in success.
What did he do?
The reason for that was the fact that the Viet Cong made more impressive tunnels.
They eat it?
Blast-proof, flood-proof, and provided extra ventilation. So the
didn't
gases
speed
were
when it.
effective. They also made them in a zigzag shape to mitigate the
Okay,
effect of
I don't know why she liked her.
This is why
I mean him.
the tunnel rat was indispensable. Those guys were the only thing that really worked. Believe
I
it or
would do
not,
the
most
same.
American soldiers were not chosen to do this job, but
I
actually
do
I wouldn't say that to her, but
you have to be out of
you know.
your mind to do the work. The centipedes and the snakes were one thing, but suffocation in a collapsed tunnel was something from a nightmare. So why did they volunteer? One soldier back then said it was sometimes a macho thing. Soldiers did it to show others just how tough they were. He said that many tunnel rats had had problematic lives back home in the U.S., so they wanted to show that they could be useful. And useful they were, as well as brave. One tunnel rat named C.W. Bowman said that his fellow soldiers thought he was a maniac doing the job. He said they took bets each time he went into a tunnel, and some men betted that he would die that soon. Let's first take you through a mission. You shoot first and ask questions later. That was the mantra of the tunnel rat. Anything they came across, they shot at. They would usually fire only 3 bullets and then
Oh,
reload. The reason for this was the enemy wouldn't know how many bullets they had in the chamber.
Christ, though.
Let's say the mission was successful,
Let's
and
go.
that the tunnel rat
We
took
need
out
help,
the
bro.
enemy and discovered what was hidden down there. What would they find? On one mission, the tunnel was around 120 feet. At the end of the tunnel, the rat found places where men cooked and slept. As for items, he discovered 8 rifle grenades, 40 pounds of salt, and 6,000 pounds of rice, all of which was destroyed. On another mission,
I
the
forgot
tunnel
your
was
lot,
cameras,
man. Thick,
as well as weapons and ammunition.
Oh.
There was still a problem, though, and that was the fact that even if the tunnel rats were successful, the Americans still had a problem winning the war. You can take out the tunnel, but there will always be more. This is a quote from Ho Chi Minh, the president of North Vietnam. You can kill 10 of our men for every 1 we kill of yours. But even at those odds, you will lose and we will win. Take, for instance, the use of booby traps, horrific things that killed around 11% of American soldiers during the war. Sometimes the Viet Cong would put a punji stake trap in a larger part of the tunnel. These were holes filled with sharpened bamboo that would be covered with branches and leaves. When a soldier stood on the trap, the spikes would impale him, and worse, the spikes might have been daubed with poison or feces. The soldier would then scream out, but he wouldn't die. This was the point, because
Call it Jay by his full name too.
The tunnel. Not only were there often more traps down there, but even if there weren't,
I didn't know that was his last name.
sharp sticks and dragging him so much
Damn.
might have hit a tripwire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the tunnel would have collapsed on him. There's a story of a tunnel rat that popped his head out of one entrance and that triggered a spear that went through his neck. At other times, the Viet Cong made traps like something you might have seen in an Indiana Jones movie. A man could
This is on side 3, bruh.
A lieutenant named Jack Flowers said he experienced a totally different kind of trap. His comrade went
'Cause
into
it's
a tunnel,
chicken,
and
bro.
that man triggered a tripwire. After that, a
Oh,
box full
it's
of some of whom called them 3-step snakes, because after you were bitten, you only had 3 steps before you died. That might be a bit of an exaggeration, but you can imagine being stuck in a dark tunnel with scorpions and snakes. Flowers went into over 100 tunnels. He later said this about the expeditions. In these tunnels, your adrenaline was pumping like a river.
Nigga, we do homework when we get home from school.
Feel your way along for booby traps. It got so you could sense them. Same for the VC. You could smell another human being in the tunnel. You knew he was waiting for you in the dark. All of these horrors that the Viet Cong created instilled so much fear in the men that volunteering to be a tunnel to do it. They had to do it for the team, so to speak. This is what one American said about hiding in tunnels. We often wondered.
Nigga failing English. Ain't no way.
We never saw what was going on.
Yes, you are, nigga.
We never knew where these guys were coming from. They had to go down every tunnel they could find.
No, nigga, you fucking dumb.
During the night.
How you feeling the thing you already know, nigga?
Stress, not knowing where the enemy was. So sending down tunnel rats was some peace of mind.
It's just dumbass.
Successful tunnel campaigns, such as Operation Crimp and Operation
Spin ass bitch. Get your grade ups, nigga.
While the American soldiers
No, they're not.
were having nervous breakdowns going into the tunnels, the Vietnamese soldiers were at home in them. If the tunnels were destroyed, they just built more of them. The Americans had the task of Sisyphus, pushing the giant rock.
He didn't even respond. Like, shut up.
There isn't any data on how many of them died, but it's thought that most of them succumbed during
It's not they talking to himself.
Gosh,
100 or so tunnel rats.
like, shut the fuck up, nigga.
All of them lived to tell the tale.
Nobody give a fuck.
On American soil. One
Give me that
of
shit.
Jack Flowers. He later said, "Why did we do it? I wasn't a tough guy. Nobody who knows me would ever suspect I could do what the tunnel rats did. I
Give me
didn't
that.
want a son of mine to have to do it. Thank God," he said, "that these days men
Come
don't
here.
have to do what he did."
Give me
Now
that.
you should watch this video, the insane
Hustle
crazy
all the
story
way.
of a tiny soldier, or have a look at this, Mad Jack, a
Oh,
real
yeah.
life World War
Hey.
II madman.
Too much.
I see.
Too fucking much.
See.